Okay, as with the Premier League, we have one more set of championship fixtures before the international break. So I'm just going to quickly run through my predictions. Kicking us off, Wrexham take on Birmingham. This is obviously live on TV Friday night. Sky love these two teams. As for the game, Wrexham picked up some pretty good results recently. Birmingham, they lost 3 of their last 5. They drew at home Sheffield Wednesday. Just seem to be struggling to pick up some wins. Not scoring too many goals either. But yeah, I fancy Wrexham at home for this one. So I've gone for a 2-1 home win. Blackburn take on Stoke. Two teams with opposite starts this season. Blackburn are in the relegation places in 22nd. Lost 5, they're opening 7. On the other hand, Stoke have had a brilliant start. Just slowed down a little bit in the past few weeks. They haven't won in the last 3, but they're still in 3rd place. Great start to the season for them, and I think they'll pick up another win. So I've gone for a 2-0 away win. Hull take on Sheffield United. Hull, bit of a mixed start. They're in 18th place. They'll be looking to push on and get away from the relegation places. And Sheffield United picked up a win against Oxford. Chris Wilder's that first game in charge. But obviously they played Southampton. He got sent off for kicking the ball into the crowd. And they lost at home. So not the best of starts. Hull, I fancy goals in their games, and I think they'll win. So I've gone for a 2-1 home win. Sheffield Wednesday take on Coventry. Sheffield Wednesday, they got 6 points on the board. It looks like they might lose them, plus more for failing to play their players. So yeah, they're not in a good state. Coventry, up into 2nd, brilliant away win at Millwall, scoring a lot of goals. I think they won 4-0 in the end. And I fancy quite a straightforward win for them this weekend. So I've gone for a 3-0 away win. Bristol City take on QPR. Bristol City still in the playoff places, haven't won in the last 3. QPR on a bit of an unbeaten run. They haven't lost in their last 5. And I think these two will play out a draw. So I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Derby take on Southampton. Derby just hovering above the relegation places. Not been the best at home this season so far. Southampton, very slow start for them. Did pick up a win, like I said, at Sheffield United last in the week. And I think they'll win at Derby. So I've gone for a 2-1 away win. Millwall take on West Brom. Millwall, not so bad a start away from home, but at home, they've been pretty poor so far this season. And they're taking on the West Brom side, who's sitting 4th. Their away form is pretty decent. So I fancy another win for West Brom here. So I've gone for a 2-0 away win. Portsmouth take on Middlesbrough. Portsmouth had a fairly good start to the season. They've not won in the last 4, just sliding down the table a little bit. Managed to nick a point at home to Watford in the week. But yeah, they take on Middlesbrough side, who are top of the league. They haven't lost yet this season. They've only let in 5 goals. So yeah, I fancy a Middlesbrough away win here. So I've gone for a 2-0 away win. Preston take on Charlton. Two sides probably not fancied, but two sides doing very well. Preston in 7th, Charlton in 9th. Preston's home form is pretty impressive. Charlton, not a lot of goals in their game so far this season. Scored 8, let in 6. So it's all been pretty tight, but I do fancy Preston at home. So I've gone for a 1-0 home win. Swansea take on Leicester. Swansea in 8th, fairly decent start. Leicester in 6th. I think a lot of people expect them to be in the top 6 this season, so no surprise there. They've only lost 1 of their opening 8. But I do fancy a draw in this one as well. So I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Watford take on Oxford. Not the best of starts for Watford. like I said, they lost their lead at Portsmouth. They drew that game. They sat in 16th place. Only won 2 of their opening 8. But take on Oxford side that have won 1 in 8. Not scoring lots of goals. And I fancy Watford in this one. So I've gone for a 2-0 home win. And then finally, the derby match between Ipswich and Norwich. Ipswich just starting to move up the table, whereas Norwich are just starting to slip down the table. Norwich find themselves in 19th, not the best of starts for Liam Manning. And I fancy Ipswich to take full advantage. So I've gone for a 2-1 home win. That's my predictions for this weekend. Let's see how we get on.